If I lost all my backpacking gear tomorrow, what would I replace first? Not the flashy items, the ones I literally cannot backpack without. Let's go. Welcome to Backpacks and Trails. Have you ever thought, if all of my backpacking gear got stolen or disappeared tomorrow, what would I replace first? What do I have to have that's essential to my backpacking experience? And that's what I'm talking about here today. So leave in the comments, what would you replace first? What is your essential gear that you would have to have? And I'm going to give you some options of what I would replace and give you some budget options if budget is an issue. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about shelters. I'm a ground dweller, so it would have to be a tent. I own just about every version currently of the Durston tents, REI Half Dome, a few other tents. But if I had to have only one to replace, I would choose the Durston X Dome 2. The storm worthiness, the reliability, the ease of setup, that's the one I would choose. That's about a $499 tent. Now, if I was on a little bit more of a budget, the only other tent for me that I would want to choose is the Durston X Mid 2, the regular one, and that's about $319. It's a trekking pole tent, so it's not freestanding, but it's extremely storm-worthy, reliable, easy to set up, and that would be my choice. Next would be sleep system. I absolutely love my Outdoor Vitals 15-degree quilt. Out of all the quilts and sleeping bags I have, that is my favorite, and that is the one I would want to replace first. Not particularly a budget option. It's about $350 or a little less if you're a Live Ultralight member. But that is the one I would want if I could replace any piece of sleeping gear as far as a bag or a quilt. Now, if I was on a budget, there's been a lot of good reviews on the Teton Sports 20-degree mummy bag. It's only $60 on Amazon. So if I was on a tight budget, that's the one I would go for over the Outdoor Vitals. Sleeping pads. Sleeping pad along with my sleep system, I would have to choose the Kilos Gear Elite sleeping pad. It's only $129. Hands down, one of my favorite pads. Now I have other pads. I have the Nemo Tensor Extreme. I have the Cedar Summits. I have Outdoor Vitals pads, a couple others. But again, if I had to replace it with only one pad, what I replace is with the Kilos Gear Elite. It's just a great all-around pad. You can take it down to freezing easily. It's super comfortable, lightweight, and there really isn't another budget option because at $129 compared to most pads that are $200 to $300, it's a pretty good budget option right there. Cook system. This is an important one. I am not a cold soaker, so I have to have a cook system at least to boil water with. Again, if I lost everything, what would I replace it with? My first option would be the Camping Moon, and I believe it is the XD2F stove. I have notes because all these descriptions. But yeah, the XD2F stove is $32 on Amazon. It is a phenomenal stove. I would couple it with the Soto Triflex adapter. And I would also put it with the Fire Maple Petrol G3 HX 600 ml pot, my favorite pot of all time. Now, keep in mind that I always camp with a partner, so a lot of this stuff I choose because it works well for two people. I think I would probably take it on my own as well, just because, like I said, it's just some of my favorite gear. The Camping Moose stove is just like the Soto Windmaster at $32 versus about $70 or so. The Triflex adapter adds about $18 to it, but it's well worth it, especially if you're using it with the Petrol 600 ml pot from Fire Maple. Fits in, nests together. Wind resistant, it's excellent. Now, if you're on a budget, I would suggest maybe $18 BRS stove. Tried and true, also works with the Petrol pot, and that's still the pot I would put it with it because it's budget price. I believe the pot itself, I'll put the price up here, is just an extremely excellent pot at a budget price as far as I'm concerned. water filtration system setup, whatever you want to call it. First of all, I would get a Platypus quick draw filter. It's the only filter that I have used that I've actually fallen in love with. The flow is incredible, so much faster than a Sawyer, easy to back flush on trail, has caps that seal both ends so there's no water leaking out of it. I would couple that with a 3-liter Canuck water bladder bag. Phenomenal again, never had any issues. I've heard a few stories here and there, people saying they pinhole. I've had mine for several years, never had any issue with it at all. And on top of that, as far as where I would put the water, as far as water storage, the Migo water bottles that were designed by Miranda goes outside along with Mazama. For $19 a piece, the money you save over constantly buying smart water bottles is well worth it for the durability, the ease of cleaning, just a phenomenal bottle. So those are the 3 pieces of my water filtration system that I wouldn't backpack without if I had to replace everything. Backpacks. Again, I have a lot of backpacks. I have a lot of custom backpacks, chicken tramper packs, and I have Osprey packs. I have Durston packs. I have Waymark packs. A lot of packs. Again, if I lost everything, I had to have 1 pack. It would definitely be a Durston Kakwa 40-liter or a Durston Kakwa 55-liter. You're looking at about $250 on the 40-liter and about $279 on the 55. If you wanted to go a little more budget and have a really good pack that would work about the same or around that, the REI Flash 55, but it's $199. So for me, I would find the extra 50 or 60 bucks to buy the Durston. That's just my opinion. I've used a lot of packs and it's just become my favorite all-time go-to pack. Trekking poles. If I had to replace trekking poles, again, I own the Durston Ice Lines, I have Lucky's, we have Cascade Mountain Techs, I think we have one other brand. But again, if I had to have 1 set of trekking poles, they would be some kind of flip lock, not the twist lock, the flip lock design Lecky poles. And they average around $100 to $120. Sometimes you can get them at REI or the place on sale for around $80 or $90. But phenomenally durable poles, lightweight. Again, if I was on an extreme budget, Cascade Mountain Tech makes an excellent pole. It's heavier than the Leckies, but again, extremely durable. The flip lock design, and $30, you can't beat it. Last item of essential gear I'd have to replace is obviously a Puffy jacket. Now, I would go, if I could only have one, with the Outdoor Vitals Nova Pro jacket. Now again, it's not super budget, it's about $230, but phenomenal jacket. The way it's designed, it's wind resistant, it's excellent. Super lightweight for what it is and the comfort rating and all. Again, if I was on a budget, now I also own a Decathlon MT100, which is now called a Simon in the men's, still called the Four Claws in the women's. But they're about $119, and again, sometimes Decathlon runs sales and you can get them for about $80. Again, a phenomenal puffy jacket, unless you're going down to extremely cold temperatures, and that's one of the reasons I bought the Outdoor Vitals. So again, if I had to have one, Outdoor Vitals Nova Pro. That's about it for this list and this video for this week, but hey, please comment down below. Let me know what you would absolutely have to have that would be essential to your backpacking kit if you lost everything and had to rebuy your basic equipment. Not something anyone wants to think about, losing that kind of stuff, that's for sure. That's about it. Like I said, comment below. Let me know what you would replace. And as always, hit the like, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you next time out on the trail.